Hi everyone, welcome to this tarot read. Thank you very much for joining me. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll see what tarot has to say today. And I will remind you guys too, this is going to be a general read, so it may or may not resonate with you. You might even find too that sort of bits and pieces resonate. Take whatever messages feel right. Those are going to be the ones that are meant for you. We're also going to draw an energy card at the end of this read. Letting go. This is a time of sort of bringing something to an end, a time of sort of releasing truth. Okay, so that is what's going on here. I do not believe that this read is going to be meant for the person who is watching this. I feel like this is an energy connected with somebody who's going to be watching this read, like somebody that you've dealt with. There is some sort of a truth. It's like an inner truth. It's something that you try to tell somebody in helping them on their universal journey, trying to help them to grow, trying to help them to find wisdom, to find insight. I do believe that whatever you said to them, they did not want to hear it at the time that it was said. I feel like now something is coming around, a situation in their life, and you might have warned them about it. But whatever it is that's manifesting in their life, it's like bringing back these words that you said to them. And like I said, this is like part of their universal journey, right? We each have our own path to walk. You tried to help this person on their path, tried to make their path a bit easier. They just weren't in a place where they were ready to hear whatever you had to say. It was like this was something they had to find out for themselves. And I do believe that there is like this coming back around. Your words are sticking with them now. This is like a time for them of personal growth. I do believe that I think at the time, whatever you said to them, I think it pissed them off. I think they kind of got their hackles up. I have the distinct impression from the cards that they were sort of like, don't tell me what to do with my life, or you don't know how I feel, or you don't understand, was sort of their attitude. Now that they look back, they see that you were trying to be a leader to them. They see that you were trying to give them this wisdom. You were trying to help them grow. You were trying to make their path easier. This is something they're realizing right now. But it took them going through whatever it is they're going through right now for this to become clear. For them, this is going to be a time of purging what no longer serves them. Of letting go of something from the past, something from their present, something from this situation. That's going to help them in moving forward on their universal life path. This is a time for them, for this activation, time of change. This is a time of change for this person, a time of personal growth. I see like leaps and bounds too on their personal and universal life path. They have a very critical point, whatever this is that's happening to them right now, whatever the situation that this person is going through, this is bringing about a very huge change in their life, a very big change in the way that they think and the way that they feel. It's an opportunity for enlightenment, which is exactly what just came out here, right? Enlightenment. It also brings about a time of, I do feel, uncertainty. So there's some big change happening. I do feel like in some sense they almost feel lost. We're going to grab a few more of these cards. So I just keep getting like words playing over in somebody's mind. And I do feel like it's something that you said to them. And these words coming back to this person, and I feel like now they're sort of like mulling them over, like over and over and over again. Like it's really sticking with them. It's really haunting them. Whatever it was that you said to them, this piece of advice, this piece of wisdom, and it was extremely valid, whatever it was. I do believe that this is something that's going to help them to find success and prosperity in the future. Because I feel like a tipping point in whoever this is. This is like a tipping point. This is like somebody finally understands something that you told them, something that has to do with maybe relationships with others, manifesting positivity in their life. It was like this piece of advice they really needed to hear. At the time they weren't ready to hear it. They just weren't at that point on their universal life path where they were ready to take in that kind of information. Now they are. And I do believe that whatever you said to them is going to play a big part in them finding prosperity, finding success, finding enlightenment. Like I said, like this This is like a crossroads for them. Whatever came about has brought about sort of this crossroads situation, this chance to learn, this chance to grow. But first they're going to have to go through sort of like a winter. They're going to have to go through a time of hardship. That's part of this growing, a time of hardship, a time of learning life lessons, a time of sort of coming back into themselves and finding out who they truly are and what's important to them. There's going to be healing involved too. We do have this wolf spirit, this family card, so this might even be a family member for some of you. Do you feel like this person is going to have to lean on family very heavily during this time as well? This time of sort of retreating back into themselves, this time of growing, of recognizing this personal truth. And they're going to have to learn to sort of like go with the flow with this flexibility. Because their life is changing. They're getting some big changes in their life. And some of this shit they have absolutely no control over. And that's part of what brought this about too. This wasn't something that they chose for themselves. And then we have flow as well. It's like this having to go with the flow. Having to learn to go with the flow. Having to learn to embrace change. And this card did not want to come out with the deck when I pulled the deck off at first. This is the Chariot card. Chariot card is that positive movement forward. I do believe this person is starting to make a change in their life, right? Like this is, for them, this was the tipping point. Whatever this event was that happened to this person, this was like their tipping point. This was their time to find this aha moment, to take another look at the advice that you gave them. I keep feeling these words like ringing in my ear. So I feel like whatever you said to them is like playing over and over again in their mind now. This is something that's finally sinking in. I do feel like this person is ready to make a change. This person is ready to change their world, but it's going to be a journey that happens over a period of time. There's a lot of different elements at play now. They've had a big change happen. I feel like rebuilding is going to be a part of that too. Starting a new chapter, starting fresh, building back from the ground up. But again, we're coming back to the past. Like they keep thinking of these words from the past. And you're going to be this Queen of Swords energy. And I can feel that in the cards. And she's representing sort of like this truth, this honesty and integrity. Like you tried to give them this truth. You tried to speak this truth to them. And they didn't want to hear it. This is why I kept feeling like the Seven of Wands. They got like their hackles up. Instead of hearing it in the spirit that it was intended, because it was loving, caring, and kindness, trying to spare this person from hurt. It's like their ego got in their way, their pride got in the way, and their hackles got up and they just weren't ready to hear it. But now they keep looking back to the past. They keep looking back to this event, to what you were trying to tell them. I do feel like they wish that they would have heard it at the time, because I feel like it probably would have saved them from going through the situation. But like I said, everybody's path is different, right? Everybody walks their path in a different way, and this person had to walk their path this way. This is what needed to happen. Everything happens for a reason. So this is something that had to happen to them to be able to gain this perspective, to be able to gain this insight and this understanding about the connections with the people around them, and that maybe they should step back and listen to what people say. You know, really mull it over, really think it through, instead of, just dismissing it because they don't like to hear it. I feel like they were foolish now in not listening and in dismissing what you had to say. They were foolish and just sort of blundering ahead. And now they're sort of in this Nine of Swords energy and feeling sorry for themselves, feeling sorry for the situation that they're in. But like I said, it's still a tipping point. What happened to them, what came about that made them realize this, it was a negative event. But I have this strong impression from the cards that it's actually going to yield positive results in this person's life. It's going to change the way they go through life. The Eight of Pentacles, he's an apprentice, he's a learner. This is a chance for somebody to learn a life lesson. This life lesson is going to set the foundation for this person's future. And this is going to have to do with communication, hearing what other people have to say, being able to have that even give and take, that back and forth, and not shutting somebody down because you don't like what they have to say. And it's going to be hearing it hearing it in the way that it's intended. I feel like that's part of what this person has to learn too, is when people say things to them, being able to step back and really try and figure out the motives of the person who's giving the advice or the person who's saying whatever they're saying. Because I feel like that's what part of what screwed them up too, right? With their ego getting in the way and not being able to step back and seeing that it was coming from a caring place. Because that's what this Queen of Pentacles represents too. She represents that caring and that nurturing energy. And somebody was trying to save them from hurt. Somebody who was trying to make their universal path easier. And they didn't listen. They didn't want to listen. It's like somebody was trying to spare them from learning a hard lesson. I do believe this person blundered forward. They were following a passion though. So this person was following something that they believed was right, something that they wanted in their life. This was their motive in moving forward in this direction. I do feel like it was trying to form a partnership with somebody. But I do believe in moving forward in this, that it actually damaged a relationship. With this queen energy, this nurturing, softer energy that keeps coming forward. And this might be your energy, guys. And it's like that relationship got damaged so that they could follow this passion. So that they could follow something that wound up being not what they thought it was. Because we do have the Seven of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords can represent that feeling of unfairness. That feeling like we caught the short end of the stick. Whatever they went to did not work out the way they wanted it to. And that is the catalyst of having your advice and your words sort of like haunting them. And like ringing through their mind over and over and over again. This is what they're struggling with too. And now they are struggling with this temperance, this balance, because they have a lot of emotions now. But I feel like they're also gaining insight in this situation. Like I said, it's like tipping point. The tipping point for this person, a crossroads on their universal life path. They're learning valuable lessons about partnerships with other people, about relationships with other people, about the emotional work that has to get put into it, the emotional investment from both sides. But they're struggling, like I said, we keep getting some of these cards in reverse from the past, like struggling to move forward, struggling to move on, struggling to let go of the past. And I do believe it's still speaking to this advice. Like they are really heavy in looking into the past right now. This person's very heavy in this introspection, in this regret. They wish they would have just listened. They could have avoided this whole disaster if they would have taken somebody's advice in the spirit that it was intended, instead of letting their ego get in the way, instead of following this passion. And they kind of followed it like blindly and boldly, like jumping in with both feet, not listening to anything that anyone had to say around them. And there's a whole lot of regret now. And this Page of Pentacles too is speaking to that Queen of Pentacles energy, that trying to offer, give an offering. She was trying to offer advice. She was trying to offer caring. She was trying to offer nurturing. And it was dismissed. Somebody didn't want it. Somebody didn't want to hear it. And they decided they were just gonna go forward. They were going to go forward. They were going to follow that passion. Like I said, this relationship got damaged because they dismissed that, because they got angry. They thought they were moving on into this Nine of Pentacles energy. This was like something they wanted to do to strike out on their independence, their empowerment. They really, following their passion, they thought they had it. They thought they knew what they were doing. They thought this was going to be exactly the right thing to do. I got that, like, don't tell me how to live my life, or like how, this person doesn't know how I feel. How can they tell me how I feel or how I can live my life? So this person thought they were moving into this Nine of Pentacles energy, moving into this independence, moving towards abundance is what they felt was right for them. Like I said, it didn't turn out the way they thought it would. And that's part of where this all came about. This huge problem came about. But it's, like I said, it's brought about this crossroads. It's brought about this tipping point, this chance for this person to learn and to grow. And I do feel positivity. So I feel like this person is actually going to take this opportunity to grow and move forward. Yeah, they blindly followed whatever this passion was. Whatever this passion was, this was a relationship that they were going to. It wound up being a karmic relationship. You know, having it not work out the way it was supposed to. If this was something else, like career, moving, whatever it was, it didn't go the way that they had planned. It was something that they deeply wanted to work out, and they didn't want to hear anything but encouragement. So they just kept moving on and moving forward. They felt like other people were holding them back. When people tried to sort of give them this advice, and you tried to give them this advice, this being cautious, this warning, trying to give them some clarity and some perspective on the situation, they felt like you were just trying to hold them back from living their life. That was like their main thing. That, like, you don't understand what I'm feeling. You're trying to keep me from being happy. Like, they fought you tooth and nail. It might have even been a big blowout, because we have this Knight of Swords, and I feel their energy in this Knight of Swords. And it's a very big, fiery energy in fighting for what they believed was their truth. And their ego wound up being this Devil card. The Devil card is a destructive force in someone's life. It was allowing their ego to take over. It was not being able to sort of step back and hear what someone has to say. You might in the end disagree with them and sort of dismiss it, but you should at least step back and hear it, right? Hear it. Take time to think about it. And they refused to do that just right off the hop. They got their hackles up. They got up on their soapbox. They were pissed right off. They were like, don't tell me how to live my life. You're trying to hold me back from happiness. You're blah, 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 blah. They questioned motives, someone's motives, instead of being able to see where this was coming from. This was coming from a place of love. This was coming from a place of somebody trying to make their path easier. But this was something someone had to learn for themselves. I see that in the cards. This was like, it was not in the cards for someone to spare them this hurt. They had to learn this to be able to find this level of insight and to be able to evolve and grow. So for this relationship, for this read and this energy, whoever was trying to offer this advice, this person is going to come and try and back and mend. Like genuinely mend, not bullshit mend. This is something that somebody truly appreciates now. It's like your words haunting this person, your words playing over and over in their mind, them finally finding this insight, them finally understanding where it was coming from when you were saying these things to them, and them really appreciating sort of that loving and that caring connection, and that you were trying to spare them this hurt. I do feel like that level of understanding, that level of growth is taking place. This is happening. They're going to come back. They're going to want to mend this relationship and strengthen this bond. And in the future, really appreciate the advice that's been given to them. Appreciate this deep connection, and that somebody's willing to tell them something that they don't want to hear, because they're trying to save them some sort of pain, some sort of hardship. They feel like they're going to be more open to listening to things in the future. We're going to grab an energy card for this read. I had two pop out. Oh, we actually had a few more than two. We'll pull them all. So let's see. So prioritize your health, remember your worth, ground yourself, and get out of your own way. So these cards are absolutely perfect, because this person they kind of got in their own way, right? They let their ego step in. They let their desires and their passions lead them, instead of, finding that temperance, that balance with logic and listening to others. So they did allow that to get in their own way. This is like a time to ground themselves, to realize what's really important, which I think they are going to with these caring connections and having good people surrounding them. This might be family as well, because we did get that wolf spirit, that family card. So I do feel like during this time, this person is going to be reconnecting with family. This person is going to be leaning heavily on family while they're healing, while they're growing, while they're evolving as well. And this, remember your own worth. This is not just going to count for them. To me, in this card, I very much feel like it's the people around them, and recognizing the worth of those connections, the worth of those caring people that they have in their life, and sort of putting those things first. This is what I feel by this prioritize your health. This is like priorities. What counts in life? What's going to make you happy? What do you need to have in your life? For this person, it is caring connections. That is a big part of what they want in their life. They want positive, caring connections. And so they are going to work to rebuild with this person who they stepped away from, this relationship that was damaged in them following this passion. They're going to work to rebuild that and reconnect with that because that does mean a lot to them. Alrighty guys, I hope that you enjoyed that read. If you did enjoy it, if you found value, please hit that like, that subscribe. It helps these messages to get out there. Have a great day guys. Take care.